The very first tattoo I got was this piece on my inner bicep, which is one of the first illustrations from The Little Prince. It was one of those tattoos that I always knew I wanted to get. And it just reminds me that, there's always more ways to look at something than we might first see offhand. I am a tattoo artist and now shop owner of Everybody Tattoo Studio, which is located here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Here's my flash book if you want to look through. Oh my gosh. So much. Before I ever started tattooing, I never thought that this is the path I would take as far as a career goes, but I've always been intrigued by tattoos or just drawn to the idea of them. And when I was around 18, 19 years old, was when I, just out of pure curiosity, wanted to try a hand poke or stick and poke tattoo on myself. So these 3 arrows were the first tattoo I ever did on myself. But for me, it was just a reminder to just keep going with it, because you can't get better at something unless you just keep doing it. I think I just fell in love with the process and the craft. It's funny because everyone in my family, for the most part, has kind of a stigma around viewing tattoos. As much as my parents may not fully understand what I do or even accept what I do, I always do come back to think that I couldn't have been here without them. Being an immigrant child is something I'm so grateful for. My parents went through a lot, and I think about that every day, even though they might not get it. I know that I couldn't have been here without them. I love meeting other Korean Americans, other Asian Americans specifically, and hearing that a lot of the times their stories are very similar to mine. Maybe it just goes with the whole tattooing is a part of anti-culture. Historically speaking, in Korean culture, tattoos are very much tied to negative things. I think in a lot of older Koreans' minds, it's still why would you do that to yourself? I think that's the hardest part is it feels like you're hiding a part of yourself.
Exactly. That's
which
a good way to put it.
Isn't what we want, but it's almost coming from a place of respect. Even how things here have changed, where younger generations view things very differently from older ones. Salt Lake City definitely has an established culture. So it is hard at times to find where I fit into that, but I think that's what's so exciting as well. Because there's already this very established, different from my style, I'm hoping to find a place where more contemporary art styles can coexist. Should we do some stencils of that and see how you feel? Okay. Whee! You ready? Mm-hmm. Here we go. I've always been drawn to just themes of nature. Even when I was in art school, a lot of my work was thematically based on humanity's connection to nature. I feel like for some reason, we kind of forget that we're as much a part of nature as, let's say, birds or mushrooms or other things that I love to tattoo and love to draw. So I definitely get a lot of my inspiration from anything natural, anything in the natural world, but that also includes humans and faces and portraiture. It's funny because when I first started learning how to draw faces, it was the hardest thing. And now I can comfortably say, after having done it so much, that I could very comfortably do it. I was always proud of that, and I knew that I wanted to incorporate faces into my tattoo work as well. There might be obstacles and things in the way, but now that I've been doing it more, I've seen myself improve and get as far as I've gotten. You just have to keep going. And just like any other art medium, you have to learn what works. It seems the prevailing style still, as far as I can tell, is very traditional. I do a lot of very fine line work, more light-handed, feminine for sure, whereas traditional work, a little more heavy look to it. Thick lines are great, and I think they look really, really cool in tattoos, but that's definitely not my natural artistic style. Kind of dreamy, somewhat surreal, whimsical. Whimsical is a good word. I love that word to describe my stuff, and I try to keep that in mind when I'm drawing new things. I think the fun part of my tattoo journey so far has been trying to figure out how to take my style and turn it into tattoos, which I think is why I've stuck to the fine line work. I think people who come to get tattooed by me appreciate a slightly different tattoo aesthetic. I definitely tattoo more females or even like non-binary folk over males. I think female artists kind of draw female clients. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, I love how it turned out too. Your line work is always so good. With something so permanent as a tattoo, I hope that they will leave the appointment feeling just so excited and so happy with this piece of art that's permanently on their skin. I don't consider myself to be a veteran in the tattoo industry because I've really only been tattooing full-time for a few years now. There have been really scary times in my career, or just times where I just want to give up just for various reasons, but I think in the end, I need to remind myself like people are coming to me for my artistic style, so already in that way, there's like something to connect and bond over.
Like good.
That's cute, I like that. I mean, it's so clear that Salt Lake, the people here really do appreciate tattoos. There is room and space for more artists like myself to establish themselves and grow. I feel like I am still kind of stepping into the tattoo industry. My role hopefully will be ever changing, but I'm here to stay.